G'day guys, it's Cooper from Harvok Caravans, and we're out here camping in the Blue Mountains in our semi-off-road 18-foot Ocean Breeze. And I just thought I'd take you for a bit of a walkthrough and a rundown of what exactly this van is and how it's different from the rest of our range. So this van's perfect for people who want to go off-road, off the beaten track, still be sustainable off-grid, but don't necessarily need all that extra clearance and wheel travel that our full off-road range offers. I'm going to walk you through some technical specs and show you inside and outside the van, so you've got a good idea of exactly what we're offering in our 18-foot Ocean Breeze. Alright, so the main difference between our semi-off-road vans and our full off-road is the suspension setup. So in our semi-off-road vans, just like this one here, we're running a torsion bar suspension system made by Trail Parts down in Melbourne. So this technically isn't independent suspension, but the wheels left to right still move independently from each other. You've got a torsion bar that runs from the left to right wheel, but then it's got little control arms that swing down, and that way you've got wheel articulation independent from each side of the van. So it still means you can do your corrugated off-road tracks, all that kind of stuff, and you're not going to have any issues with it at all. It just means that the van is a little bit lower to the ground and the wheel articulation is slightly less compared to, say, your Cruisemaster XT or ATX suspension. Now, before we dive into the full walk around, I'll just run through some specs for you. Now, people always ask me, with the semi-off-road, where's the sacrifice in quality? And unlike what you may think, there isn't one. So we're still using all the same construction methods in our full off-road range that's been around for years now. So it's all the robotically welded aluminium monocoque body, which is where the world first manufacturer to be doing that, with our 48-volt electrical system and all of our signature components. That's still all in our semi-off-road vans. Your only main differences the suspension, like I've just run you through, and then also the battery and solar system. So we're still using a 48-volt lithium system. It's a 5 kilowatt-hour battery in the semi-off-road vans, which is enormous. For a touring van, you get heaps of time off-grid, and it's equivalent to about 420 amp hours of 12-volt lithium. On the roof, you've got 480 watts of solar as standard, compared to the 960 that you would get in the full off-road range. Now, if you would prefer just a semi-off-road suspension, but you want the bigger electrical system like we've got in the full off-road range, we can absolutely do that for you, whether it be a 10 kilowatt or a 15 kilowatt hour battery system and up to 1,440 watts of solar. So, running through a few other specs, we've got dimensions. So this is obviously an 18-foot van. It comes in at 8 meters long from the front of the drawbar to the back of the rear bar. All of our vans are 2.2 meters wide, so a little bit skinnier than your standard van that you find on Australian roads, and that's because it just helps so much more when you're off-road, doing tighter tracks, beach driving, all that kind of stuff. The narrower track width is really going to help you out there. Coming into weights, we've got this van here, the 18-foot semi-off-road, comes in at just over 2.4 tonne tare, which is really light for a tandem axle, still off-road capable van. And then we've got an ATM of 3.5 tonne, so that's over a tonne of payload that you've got access to, which I've never seen anyone fill that much weight into a van before. Moving on from that, we've got 200 litres of water, exactly the same as our full off-road 18-foot van. So that's 2 100-litre tanks just for your fresh water, and they've got a 70-litre grey water tank as well. And in saying that, let's dive in and have a look around the van. Come on. Starting up the front of our van on the drawbar, we've got the DO35 just like the rest of our range, so all that extra articulation and safety both on and off-road. You've got your 12-pin plug with your 120 amp Anderson plug, so we're using the same DC-DC bidirectional charger and converter as the full off-road range. So when you plug this into the back of the vehicle, you can charge at the 1200 watts, which is an enormous amount, and it's going to be working together with the solar from the roof. You got reverse camera hookup, all standard, off-road jockey wheel, breakaway system, and a nice little tap with a guard on the front of the drawbar here. Got your stone guard, which is standard on all of our vans. This one we've got spare wheel mounted up the front because we don't have anything else here. If you'd like a front box or something like that, we can move it onto the rear bar, and then you've got your extra space for whatever you want to put up on the drawbar. You got 2 lights up the front of the van so you can see what you're doing at night out the front if you pull up to camp a bit later and you're trying to unhitch. Coming around to this side, we've got your tunnel boot, so this runs right through to the other side of the van. So heaps of storage through there. You can put all your tables, chairs, hoses, all that kind of stuff. They all fit nicely in there. You got your 15 amp 240 volt power inlet, so if you are at a powered site unlike this one, you can plug straight in and it's going to take over the whole van, so it's going to automatically charge and run all your appliances without you having to worry about anything. Got nice big windows looking into the bedroom here, over into the lounge. And then we've got your 2 water fill points. So these are your 2 100-litre water tanks, separate fill points, and you can choose which tank the pump is going to drain from if you do want to do that. Coming up the back, we've got your outdoor shower. So that's just a pull-out shower, both with hot and cold water. You've got a mains water inlet down here as well. So if you are at a caravan park or someone's home, you can plug pressurised water straight onto there, and you don't turn your water pump on. It's just going to take over the whole system. Just in here is the back of your hot water system, which is the Swift 20-litre fully electric system. Fantastic unit, works really, really well, quite efficient, and you're not going to run out of hot water with it. This is just here for servicing and accessing. You got the little pressure release valve here if you do need to get into it. So it's nice and easy access. Last thing up the back is, of course, your cassette toilet. Now this is the standard inclusion, which is a Dometic. We can do composting toilet, any brand of your choice. A lot of people go with the Ogo if that's what you prefer to do. We'll walk around the back here. So you've got your rear bar, which is all standard. And like I was saying before, if you want your spare tyre on the back, you can do that. Jerry can holders, all that kind of stuff, we can easily fit up the back here. Up the top, we've got your reversing camera. So again, a standard inclusion. We'll walk around the side of the van into the living area. So we're up the front on the awning side of the van. And like I was saying before, we've got the tunnel boot at the front here. So this runs all the way through to the other side. You've got a little light in here as well, so you can see what you're doing at night. Coming around here, we've got a little picnic table. At the moment, we've got a TV on here, but you can put that on a arm and attach it into the entertainment box if you prefer. But that's just a little drop-down table for you. You've got outdoor speakers, 2 of them, which are connected to the Fusion stereo system inside, so you can separate the sound from the outside to the inside. It's a fantastic unit. And then in here, you've got your entertainment unit. So at the moment, obviously we're filming a few videos. We've got some camera gear in here, but there's 2 40-volt outlets, 12-volt outlets, and a TV arm in there too. Up the back here, obviously you've got the entrance into the van. It's a manual pull-out double step. We can do electric if you want, but these are nice and easy. You just give it a little nudge and in it goes. We'll pull that out, and then of course we've got our Aussie Traveller doors. So these close up. You can lock them nice and tight so you're not going to get any dust or water or anything in there. Once you open it up, you've got your little latch at the bottom here, so you can open that. And then you've got your crim safe and midgie proof screen door that you can close and lock, still get all your airflow through, and have your solid door attached to the wall of the van here. And just before we head inside, we've got our Ornlux electric awning, all as a standard inclusion. So these have got adjustable arms on gas struts too. So it's as simple as just pulling them down. You can lock that in place if you want to have a bit of water runoff, or if you just want to have your awning angled down a little bit for a bit of extra privacy. And because of the gas struts, they just lift straight back up by themselves. To operate that, you've either got a awning switch just inside the door here, or this van actually has the Red Arc Rogue TVMS and Red Vision display set up. So we've got that all controlled from the Red Vision display, which you can access on your phone as well. Let's have a look inside. So just inside the doorway here, you've of course got your front loader washing machine. In our 18-foot van, because it is 1.5 foot smaller than our 19'6", the sacrifice is in the ensuite, so the cabinets aren't as deep, which means you can't fit a top loader in the ensuite. So instead, we've got the front loader here, which is super easy to use. And if you ask me, I prefer it a lot more because it's right at the front door. You can take your washing outside and hang it on the line. So you can open that up. It's 2.5 litres or kilos. And it's got a bunch of different cycles there. Of course, you've got your fire extinguisher down the bottom. And then up here, you've got heaps of leather pockets. So this entire wall is basically covered in them. And then right above the doorway in here, you've got a few more up the top. Let's have a look over here. Coming into the main living space, this is very, very similar to our 19'6" setup, which we've been doing for years now. So up here, you've got plenty of bench space. You've got your dual induction cooktop, which can be run off-grid by a Victron 3000 watt inverter. Nice big full-size sink with plenty of draining space, obviously hot and cold water with plenty of pressure from the tap. Up the top here, you've got heaps of overhead cabinetry, so plenty of space up the top. As well as underneath, you've got a full set of drawers and cabinetry underneath the sink area too. On my left, this van's been set up with a club lounge, the full wraparound. We can do the cafe style or an L lounge, or basically whatever it is that you're looking for, we can option in here. They all take up the same space. So this has got a table that moves in and out left to right. And then of course you've got plenty of overhead storage up the top here as well. Here you've got electrical controls and water gauges, all that kind of stuff, which I'll run through with you just in a minute. If we walk further up to the front of the van, you've also got your queen size bed with plenty of space. On either side of the bed, you've got your hanging space, which could be shelving if you preferred, but as standard, it's a hanging space setup. You've got power points, a little space for charging your CPAP machine, your coffee in the morning, whatever it may be. And then underneath there, you do have a very deep drawer that comes right out at the base here. So definitely no lack of storage, again with the overhead cabinetry up the top here. You've of course got dual reading lights. These are the same ones that are above the lounge over there. And on either side of the bed, you've got the huge Aussie Traveller windows. So just like all of our other vans, this van features the Aussie Traveller Eurovision windows, which have the double glaze windows and your pull down blinds and midgie screens. Underneath the bed is the heart of the electrical system. So you can lift this up, it's on gas struts, it's nice and easy. And of course you've got a barrier down the center, so the right hand side is all personal storage, plenty of space down there for you. And on the left we've got our DC-DC bidirectional 12 to 48 volt charger and converter. We've also got our Victron 3000 watt inverter and 240 volt charger, as well as your Victron MPPT solar controller, as well as all your 12 volt and 240 volt fuses there. So it's all really easy to access. There's an automatic fire extinguisher if anything did happen to go wrong, not that it ever has before. We can put the bed down, and the batteries are located underneath the van, right underneath the bed, but they are in their own protection box between the chassis rails. So up on this panel here, we've got all your electrical controls and gauges. So starting up the top left, we've got your Victron inverter controller. This is super easy to read. There's not much going on here. It's basically just a switch to turn it on and off, or you can even have it as just a charger. We've had this running all day now. We've done some cooking, a few different things. We've got the solar going, so we've only used 2% of battery in this semi-off-road van, which is fantastic. Up here, you've got your 3 water tank gauges. So the 2 100 litre fresh water tanks and your 70 litre grey. Then you've also got your Fusion stereo control up here, so that's all Bluetooth, aux cord, FM stations, all that kind of stuff. And like I said before, you can separate the inside and the outside speakers. Just below it, you've got your battery display. So this is just showing your battery percentage, how many amps are going in and out, what the temperatures are, the wattage, and your voltage of your battery. This van's been set up with the Red Vision display and Rogue TVMS. So this is the first one that we ever fitted, so it's not fully complete. If you option for this, you won't get any of these water tank gauges here, and you won't have this battery monitor, because it'll all be integrated into this Red Arc display. And so here you've also got full control of all the lights in the van, your awning controls, your water pump, your hot water system, basically anything you want we can run through the Red Arc display if that's what you choose to go with. Moving on behind me, we've just got our 200 litre Dometic fridge freezer, which is standard on all of our models, as well as the Kamek plateless microwave up the top here. So plenty of space in the 200 litre fridge, little vegetable drawer down the bottom, and of course a nice sized freezer up the top. Underneath here, we do have your hot water system, which I showed you on the outside, so you got access there. And if you do need to, you can access it from the inside, but you've actually got a little shoe rack just below the fridge here. Nice and convenient. Coming into the ensuite, like I said before, we've got the standard Dometic cassette toilet down the bottom here. You've got towel rail, hooks, your Aussie Traveller windows. You've got power points in here as well, plenty of storage. Nice big basin with a LED light up the top here that you can manipulate. Plenty of storage underneath and overhead, as well as your fans on the ceiling, so they do open and close. You can wind them open and close. Make sure you do close them before you drive away, so you've got that full dust-proof ceiling. And just through here is your shower, which is a huge shower, plenty of space in an 18-foot van, plenty of pressure, and a vent at the top as well. Last but not least, we've got our Telair air conditioning system. So it's reverse cycle. You can heat and cool When you're off grid, that'll run off your 3000 watt inverter from your 5 kilowatt hour battery system in the semi-off-road vans. So it's as simple as turning your inverter on, flicking the switch, and you've got your heating or your cooling. Now this combined with us being completely gasless, fully electric, where we've got no vents in and outside of the van. So if you close all your windows and your door, you've got absolutely no entry and exit points for external air to come in or out. So that means your aircon's gonna be cycling on and off a lot more, which means it's gonna be more efficient and it's gonna stay warm or cool inside the van a lot better. That in combination with us having single piece fiberglass walls and ceiling, as well as an XPS insulation inside those walls. So we don't run any wiring through the inside of the walls, we do them all through channels inside the van, which means you've got no gaps of insulation, it's really consistently filled, and it's that rather than having the spray in foam, you've got the extruded polystyrene instead. Thanks for tuning in and checking out our 18-foot Ocean Breeze. If there's something I haven't touched on, feel free to get in contact with the team or have a look on our YouTube or social media or website for any more information that you're looking for. Remember to follow us and keep an eye out for any more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.